What's up, folks, and thank you for watching this video. I hope that you are going to enjoy it, and I hope that you are going to find it very informative. I just came back from the field, and to be very specific, I just came back from the corner. If you're someone that follow me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you are new to my channel, welcome. By the way, my name is G Bonnie FPV, and I make FPV related video. And later on in the video, I'm going to explain to you guys what the corner is. I'm actually going to show you what the corner is. Now, coming from the corner, I did run a couple penetration test between the brand new DJI AVATA 2 and the OG AVATA. Now, I have to admit to you guys, the result I got for those penetration tests are actually pretty surprising. So I'm gonna go over everything I used during the test. For the DJI AVATA 2, I used the Gago 3 and the motion sensor 3. I don't even know what I'm telling you this, because as of today, everything you're seeing on the screen are not backward compatible. For the OG AVATA, during the testing, I was running it with my Gago 2 and my motion sensor 2. The one thing I have to say about the OG AVATA is that I have done the ham hack on this drone, and I think that may influence the result of the test. Alright guys, so I want to show you quickly the setting I use for the first flight with the OG AVATA. And I usually fly this drone in manual, but for this test I decided to go on auto. And the reason I wanted to fly this on auto is just because I wanted to let the system, the DJI Auto unit, kind of manage everything. And of course, as I said earlier, I am running the ham hack on this drone, so I just want to see if I can negate any negative effects or any influence the ham hack may have on the test itself. And I'm just showing you the different setting I use for the camera. I got it on automatic. I usually run this drone with an ND filter, but for this video I decided to take the ND filter out so you guys can get an idea of the difference in video quality between the O3 system and the O4. Unfortunately, this was a little late, and by the time I was done running those tests, the sun was pretty much almost done. So let's take off, and I'm just going to show you the pathway I'm going to be taking. This is pretty much the same pathway I always take when I do my penetration test. And the reason I do this pathway, I'm trying to find some area that's gonna be very challenging to the drone or to the system. Right now I'm literally flying on my right side, and you got all those little, how you call those anyway, you got all this little sitting place where people sit when they watch the game between me and the drone. And really, for the test, I will tell you guys, I will ask you guys to really pay attention to the bit rates, because that's gonna be really the best way to tell how the system is doing, because with the way DJI manage video, and you can just look at a video and make a decision. So bitrate right now is at 50. Of course, that's all OG AVATA. 50 is the most bitrate you can get. And I'm gonna make a little stop about right here, and I think I want to go down, just trying to challenge the system, and kind of went down a little bit here, and you can see the bit rate still at 50. The system is managing this area pretty well, and right now I'm maybe about, you see where the home is, and I'm about maybe maybe 5 or 6 foot lower than where I am with my car. And I'm gonna keep going, but you see the bitrate was fine, 50 bitrate, so didn't really affect it one way or another. And right now we're gonna come out of this area, and I'm gonna go up. Just gonna give you an idea, guys, where I am exactly. That's where I am. I'm the little red dot. That's me. I'm sitting in my back trunk. We're gonna come down and we're gonna keep going. Now, if you are new to my channel, you may not recognize this building. That's what I call the corner. This is pretty much, this is a gymnasium, and it is made of metal and concrete. So those are two very challenging material when it comes down to radio wave penetration. And usually right after past this corner, that's when you're gonna see the system to start struggling. Pretty much run every system in here. You can see we got to 46, 41, 30, and some of the system around here really struggle a lot, like HD0 just cannot go over this area. Right now we are in bitrate wise, we are in the low 20s, and we're gonna keep going. You can see video quality is still pretty good, very usable video quality, even though the bitrate is in 20s. We got our first little color code alarm, I'll say little orange, but we are still in the 20s, and you can see the video quality is still pretty good. You can actually see the blade of grass pretty much. We got a little color, we got a little orange screen, I'll call it. We are in the 10s. I say the lowest bitrate I've seen is 15, and I'm trying to fly close to the ground just to challenge the system, but you can see that video quality overall is pretty good. And usually after you pass this little, I don't know, what was it, air conditioner, the bitrate start to go back up. There we go, we're still in the 20s, 27, 28. Now we pass the building and we go right back to 50. I want to shut up for a little bit, and I want to let you kind of watch the video and kind of see the quality of the video. As I say, even though it was a penetration test, we also kind of gonna go over quality of the video. I say video quality is pretty good. I mean, the O3 system is a pretty good system, and they just say the O4 is supposed to even have better quality image wise, so we will see how good the O4 does. Alright, so this is the first flight with the AVATA 2, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but okay, I know what I was doing. I just want to show you, I want to be flying this on manual mode, and of course in manual mode with the O4 system, it does give you the option to either run it at 5.8 or 2.4, and for this video we're going to be running it at 5.8. And we're going to be pretty much taking a similar pathway than we did with the DJI AVATA. And again guys, a big thing to look for is the bitrate. That's what's going to show us if there is any issue or if the system is struggling. I'm going to take a similar pathway, pretty much just trying to reproduce the same condition than when I went the DJI AVATA. And right now the sun's actually starting to go down. You can see the old school is in the shadow now, and I actually was trying to kind of run the test kind of going much faster, and the reason is that after sundown, if I still in a school property, I'm gonna be pretty much trespassing, and I didn't want to trespass. So we're gonna come to our first stop, and you can see our bitrate started to go down earlier already. We are in the 40s. The OG AVATA did much better here, but of course with the offer system we are transmitting or receiving a lot more information, a lot more data, because the OG AVATA is up to 50 bitrate while the offer with the AVATA 2 is up to 60. So maybe that's why we're losing a little more information, since we're giving a lot more information. But you can see that once I passed that little area, I went back to 60s, and I think that area we actually stay like 30s, high 30s to low 40s on 5.8. Now the OG AVATA on 5.8 in either auto or manual did much better in the area. Now we're going to be going toward the corner, and so far we are still at 60 bit rate. But of course, once we get into the corner, that's usually where the small system starts to struggle. And we're gonna see some quick drop. We're already in the tens, and actually on this run you're gonna see that we're gonna actually hit the single digits, and we're gonna stay in the single digit the whole time we're in the corner. I think the lowest I've seen so far is a 5. Now we got like a 4, and you can see the image pretty much going down quality wise. 5, 3, so still in the single digits. So the offer on manual mode 5.8 gigahertz really struggling. You can see the overall quality of the image is degrading pretty fast, and usually once you pass that little air conditioner, quality of the image usually go right back up. But you can see that the offer on 5.8 still struggling, but now we are back to 60. And one thing I want to ask you guys, I know the lighting condition have changed, but I wonder if you guys can see the difference between 60 bitrate and 50 bitrate. I know it's on YouTube, you can't really tell, but myself, I really cannot tell a major difference between the O4 versus the O3 DJI system. I may have to run some more tests. I wonder if it's one of those situations where, you know, like between like 2.7K and 4K, most people cannot tell the difference. I wonder if something similar when it comes to 60 bitrate versus 50 bitrate image quality. But right now I'm just coming to land, and I have to say that so far, based on this test on 5.8 in manual mode, the OG flat art did much better than the AVATA 2, which supposedly running the better system. But and again, guys, I mean, you're gonna hear me repeating multiple times in this video, I am running the ham hack on my OG system, on the O3 system, so maybe that's why the performance is very different between the two systems. Alright, so let me show you the setup in this flight. That's like the second flight with AVATA 2. I'm gonna be running it at 2.4. We are still in manual mode, and this is actually the same batteries. So DJI does say you can get up to 20-minute flight time with the AVATA 2, and I can attest that that is pretty accurate. I think they said 23 minutes, but I'm getting a little bit over 20 minutes on every one of my flights. But of course, I'm not really flying it that hard, and I'm flying in normal mode because this is not a test of how fast the drone is going. This is a test of how good the penetration is. So at 2.4 gigahertz, you can see the bit rate, it is pretty much locked at 60. Now at 5.8 in this area with the AVATA 2, we are getting some little drop like 55, but right now we are locked at 60, baby. That thing is not moving at all. And we are still at 60. We're gonna come to our first stop. Seems like I was drifting a little bit. And yeah, I almost went into the wall. I was getting tired. So first stop, bit rate, we got like 58, 59, but pretty much locked at 60. So far it seems like the 2.4 gigahertz are doing much better than 5.8. I mean, which actually makes sense. 2.4, it's a lower radio wavelength, so he does have a much higher penetration than the higher wavelength. That's just the way radio wave goes. 60 is pretty much where we're sitting at. No major drop. Now we're gonna go to the corner. But of course, guys, you gotta understand one thing too, that running at 2.4, this is a school. I think I may have said earlier, you gotta think about all the interference that is in the school. You know, you got Wi-Fi, you got security system, you got, I don't know what else you have. But so far to say, DJI did pretty good on the 2.4 because it does not seem to be missing, or it does not seem to be having issue in an area that has a lot of interference. The 2.4 system seems to be doing good. Now we are getting into the corner, and let's see if we're gonna do a little better than the 5.8. I'm expecting to do better. Okay, we are down to the 20s, down to the 10. Oh, we got our first orange warning, down to the 10. And let's see if we're gonna get down to the single digit. Now we are bouncing right back up. We are down to high 10s, 20s, and I have to say video quality is still great. Back to the 30s, even before we pass the air conditioner, back to the 40s, and we are back to 60 bit rate. So 2.4 on the AVATA 2 or on the O4 DJI O4 system. If you are someone who is interested in penetration, if you are someone who is interested in getting a lot more range, I would say that this is where you need to be. And again, I didn't do the ham hack on this drone. I don't even know if you can do the ham hack, but I say performance wise, it is actually pretty close to the OG AVATA with the ham hack. But then again, that is what's supposed to happen when you are running in a lower wavelength. And that's one of the reasons, if you look at analog VTX, I mean, I think what's the other one, you do have the 5.8, and you got like, I think the lower wavelength on analog VTX is like 1.3 or 1.2. They do give you a much better penetration. And yeah, I mean, this thing on 2.4 is doing great. I mean, the bitrate's going down, but the overall image quality is not affected. And from what I've seen, testing DJI for over the years, your image quality or video quality will start to go down when you get into the single digit. As long as you are in a high 10s, your video quality should be fine. So manual mode 2.4 definitively work great if you are looking for penetration and higher range. Just to make sure that the result I got on manual 5.8 earlier wasn't a fluke, I decided to go for a quick run. So I'm in 5.8 I'm just gonna go straight back to the corner. I just want to make sure that, sometimes we get some fluke results. So we're repeating the same test and we're gonna see if we're gonna get different results. And I'm gonna slow down about right here, and we're gonna enter the corner. And I just want to make sure that the result I got from the previous test at 5.8 is actually accurate. So we are in the corner, and as we did earlier, you can see the bit rate just started dropping pretty fast. We're already back in the 20s, and you got a little orange alarm, and we are pretty much back in a single digit number. Actually, we got a red alarm this time, so clearly this was not a fluke. This definitely was not a fluke. 5.8 manual mode on AVATA is the worst setup if you are looking for range and penetration. Still in the single digits. Now we're gonna starting to go back up. So I just want to make sure it wasn't a fluke earlier. We are back to 60s now. But so that pretty much confirmed the text. 5.8 in AVATA 2 suck. Well, folks, so on this test, I can't remember. I think this is the third flight I did. I'm actually going to be running the AVATA 2 on auto mode. And the reason I'm testing auto mode, I was trying to figure out if the system gonna be switching back and forth between 5.8 and 2.4 based on the quality of the reception. So that's why I'm running it on auto. And again, guys, same pathway. We're gonna take a first turn, and again, at this point, you got the stand between me and the drone. Bit rate staying in the 60s. If my memory serves me well, at 5.8 on AVATA 2, at this point, we started seeing some small drop in the high 50s. But the bit rate remained 60, pretty much locked at 60. We're about to come out to our first stop. I don't know why it seems like this drone, every time I come in this area, it's kind of drifting. I wonder what's the deal about that. So, first stop. So, on our first stop in auto mode, yeah, we're dropping to high 50s, 55. We're still in a 50 as far as bitrate goes, actually going back to 60. So I'll say performance wise, already in this area in auto mode is performing much better than in manual 5.8. But 2.4 still performing slightly better in this area, because 2.4 watches pretty much locked at 60 bit rate, and the OG AVATA perform better in either manual or auto mode. Now we're gonna go toward the corner. Bitrate still at 60 before we enter the corner. And again, trying to keep the drone low to the ground, just to challenge the system a little more. We already starting to see some drop, and I'm really trying to see if the system gonna be switching back and forth between 5.8 and 2.4 when you're in auto mode. But from those results, I say the system is not switching. We already got a little orange screen alarm or alert, I don't know how you call it, but you know what I'm saying, guys. And we are in the 10th. Are we gonna hit the single digits? Still in the 10th, mid 10, 18, 17. Are we gonna hit the single digits? We're still in the 10. So I'll say so far auto mode on the AVATA 2 is performing better than manual mode 5.8, and I still think the 2.4 performance slightly better in this area, but in auto mode we didn't go into those single digits. Yeah, and we are back in the 30s, 20s, 40s. So I don't know, guys, maybe the system does switch from 5.8 to 2.4 whenever the condition get too bad. I can't really tell, but you guys let me know what you think. We are back in the 60s as far as bitrate goes, and did I went in for another one? Yes, look like I went back in just to check and make sure. So based on my testing so far, I'll say if you're owning the AVATA 2 and you are someone who's trying to get the best penetration and the best range, I would say go with the 2.4. That give you the best result. Oh, look at that. We didn't get no single digit. And 2.4 in manual, that'll be the one set up to use if you want range and penetration. If you don't want to use 2.4, you can use auto at 5.8, and last is going to be manual 5.8 gigahertz because that just performed the worst. Just coming back, and you guys let me know what you think of the result of the test. Now just because of how good the 2.4 perform in manual mode on AVATA 2, I'm gonna do something I have never done. This is one of the last flights I did, and I'm doing something I've never done before because I was so surprised how good 2.4 gigahertz did on the AVATA 2. So I decided that I'm gonna go for a path that I've never done. What the path I'm gonna take right now, maybe I don't know, maybe a little more challenging than the corner. I never took this path because I always felt like the system gonna fail, and this is where we're gonna be going. We actually gonna be flying around the school. This is an elementary school. It is a pretty big school. All my kids actually went to this school. And we're gonna go down, and at this point I'm literally, I would say maybe 10-15 feet below to where I took off, and the bit rate still looking pretty good. 40s, low 50s. Now we are in the 30s, and this is pretty much on the opposite side of the school. I can't really tell if the video is going down quality wise or if it's just noise because there is not much light outside anymore. But look at the bit rate, 35, 37, in the 40s. So pretty much take mid 30s. So we got some low 30s. We got some 20s, but the image quality is still pretty good. I think I scared that poor woman. She was like, what's going on here? Okay, we got to some mid 10. We didn't get a single digit. And now I'm gonna go back up. Single digit, we got them there. Now you can see where I started, where I took off. So what I would say about this testing is that I never was sure if the ham hack actually did improve the transmission power. But just based on this test, the only conclusion I can make is that the ham hack does actually work, and you do end up using more transmission power when you have the ham hack set up on your goggle. That is the only thing that makes sense to me. Alright, so I'm gonna be switching to manual, and I'm gonna go to 5.8. Of course, there is only 5.8 in the OG, and I actually wonder if we can run 2.4 on the 5.8, because if you look at the 5.8 option on the OG AVATA, it seems to be a slider around it. I wonder if that's just a function that DJI has not released or has not made available for us. But this, I'm just gonna be flying the same pathway I took with the 2.4 to where I went around the school. I just want to see if I'm gonna be able to take the same pathway with the OG AVATA, or if the system is just gonna crash on me. Right now you're getting a lot of noise in the video because it is actually getting pretty dark, and I have to say that the O3 does doing pretty good at handling the dark or the low lights. I'm gonna go around the corner one more time, just to check to make sure that the result we got earlier was on the fluke. But then again, guys, I know that's not a fluke. I've took the drone this path so many times, so I know the drone gonna be fine. But that's just for you guys if you're the first time watching one of my video when I go against the corner, so you can see that the result I'm getting on a fluke. We got a little orange warning sign in manual mode. Compared to the AVATA 2 on 5.8, we didn't get anywhere close to single digits. And right now the system is going to be bouncing right back up. We are back to 50 bit rate. And you can see the image quality still pretty good. Then again, I'm getting a lot of noise in the image. That's just because of the low light condition. The O3 system or the OG AVATA doing pretty good, but it's not really what it's designed for. And now I'm gonna go around the school as we did with the 2.4 on the AVATA 2. This is the first time I ever take this pathway. As I said earlier, I was such a chicken. I never thought I'd be able to go around the school using one of my drones. And look at the bit rates. It is just rock solid 50, and I really do think the ham hack has actually made the big change. I'm still at 5.8, flying on the opposite side of the school, bit rates in the 30s, low 30s. We got still in the high 20s, low 30s. I mean, this is amazing as far as penetration goes. And again, as I said earlier, guys, penetration, there is a very high correlation between penetration and range. The more penetration you have, I mean, the more range you're gonna get. And this is actually doing better than the 2.4. We got a little orange warning, but on the 2.4 and AVATA 2 we got to single digits, while on the 5.8 on the old OG AVATA with the ham hack we didn't get to any single digits. So can come to your own conclusion. And of course, guys, this is not a scientific test. That's just some dude flying his drone around. That's just some bro science. But I don't know, someone may have better tool to check on those results. But I would say the ham hack and the OG AVATA actually performing better than the offer system on the DJI AVATA 2. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.